Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Chit-Chat Show. Thank you all for being here for episode number 5 with our brand new release time. Welcome, all you Aussies who are joining us with our brand new release time for this week. Thank you so much for being here. I sincerely appreciate it a heck of a lot. If you are the first time here joining us for the Chit Chat Show, welcome. This is a talk show podcast thing where we just kind of discuss travel, gaming, life for about 45 minutes to an hour. So, if that sounds interesting, wherever you are, whether you're on the train, the car, the gym, or just, lounging around, wanting a podcast to listen to in your own home, thank you for choosing the Chit Chat Show today. What are we talking about for episode number 5? We are going to be talking about future destinations, future travel destinations for me personally. So, for those who don't know me, I'm Morgan, or Morgan Luke, however you want to call me. And basically, I'm a backpacker. I started my YouTube channel about Australia and New Zealand, which I did in late 2025. And today is going to be all about that. We're going to be talking about where I want to go after Australia and New Zealand. 2026, 2027, 2028. What destinations are we potentially looking at? Well, let's just first of all address the elephant in the room. Is Australia going to be back on this list? Yes. Is New Zealand going to be back on this list? Absolutely. Both of those countries are going to be 100% on that list yet again for another episode of the podcast. But there is some other countries that I referenced in a video a couple of days ago as of recording this, and those have been very interesting to see. So, first of all, we're going to start with our first country here, and that is South Africa. More precisely, Cape Town. I would love to go to Cape Town, South Africa at some point. I've seen video footage. I've seen some incredible mountainous hikes that you can do around Cape Town, and it just looks incredible, everyone. Cape Town does sincerely look like one of the most exciting, incredible, beautiful places in the world, and you can get direct non-stop flights from London Heathrow, so it won't actually be too bad by the time you get to it. I mean, I love Cape Town mainly because it was one of the places they filmed the Alicia Vikander Tomb Raider film. So that was one of the things that I loved, the fact they did in Cape Town. But Cape Town is also just naturally beautiful. Johannesburg won't be on this list because Johannesburg has quite a high crime rate, and yeah, I don't really fancy doing that all that much, quite frankly. Johannesburg does not seem like a place that I would like to be too much, basically. Um, but yeah, so Cape Town is definitely going to be up there for me personally. Cape Town, South Africa. Next, Thailand. Thailand is 100% going to be up here as well. Uh, there's kind of two main locations that I'm considering with Thailand. Bangkok, obviously the capital of Thailand, and I just want to make sure I pronounce this correctly, so bear with me 1 minute here. I believe it's called Phuket. Phuket, I believe it's called Phuket. Let me have a look. Um, yeah, Phuket. I don't quite know how you pronounce it. It's Phuket or Phuket. I'm not quite sure which one it is, but either of those two places in Thailand seem like incredible places, not only to do videos for YouTube, but also to have just some genuine good experiences doing some fun things in Thailand. To be honest with you, Bangkok will be very busy, Bangkok is also notoriously dangerous at night. But during the day, Bangkok is meant to be lovely. So it's one of those cities where you're going to have to do a bit of a gamble, but that isn't overly too stressy for me. I mean, it isn't. Um, there's parts of Australia that get weird, and there's parts of England that get very dangerous. So it's kind of just weighing up your odds and hoping it all works out. Next, Japan. Anywhere, quite frankly. Tokyo, Kyoto, Osaka, Hiroshima. I mean, all of those places seem incredible, and I'd love to go and visit somewhere in Japan. Going up to Mount Yote in the north, maybe good, but I don't think it's overall gonna be kind of somewhere where you'd go. You'd want to go Tokyo or Kyoto, mainly if you go to Japan. Well, at least that's in my opinion, the places you'd want to go. I was meant to go to Japan in April 2025 for Star Wars Celebration, Japan, but I never went. That was being held at the Prefecture in eastern Tokyo, so that was part of Tokyo. Let's kind of just move on a little bit, and we're going to be moving on to the next country on this list. And it's going back to the UAE, quite frankly, going back to the United Arab Emirates, um, Dubai, Abu Dhabi, kind of any of those locations would be incredible to revisit. I mean, Dubai wasn't even meant to happen, and I had a blast when I was in Dubai, so it could have been it could have been good. I do think Dubai was incredible. I wasn't there long enough. I was jet lagged about 90% of those two vlogs that I uploaded while I was there, so it kind of is a very much a weighing up type of game. But I'd love to do Dubai. Abu Dhabi, I think I'd actually enjoy more because there's Yazda Island where Ferrari World and all of those locations are. So I think I'd actually prefer. Um, I think I'd actually prefer doing um, Abu Dhabi, but I would like to go back to Dubai because I never saw the Palm. I never saw the Burj Al Arab Hotel. I never saw any of that, so I would love to see that all. Next, this one I'm kind of not fussed when I do it. Egypt. I'd love to do Egypt. I'd love to do Cairo and Giza and kind of see the pyramids. That's kind of the only reason you want to go Egypt. I mean, Cairo, I don't know much about Cairo as the capital of Egypt, but I do know it's not far from Alexandria, so maybe it's something you could do where you go from Alexandria and you go kind of through and you make your way up to Cairo and to the pyramids from there. Maybe it's something you could do on a cruise or something along those lines. Next, we are going to be talking about Italy. Yes, I'd love to return to Italy, and I say return because I did go in 2023. Italy, I went to Rome in 2023, and it was an incredible experience. I loved Rome to absolute bits, and Italy was incredible. I love Italian food, so in terms of culinary stuff, it all is great. But I will say that in terms of kind of in terms of the people, South Italy has a better reputation than Northern Italy. I won't start that debate. That debate can happen in the comment section down below. But basically, in my opinion, South Italy, so Naples, Rome, Sicily, Bologna at a push, and maybe Florence as well. They are all kind of good parts of Italy. Now, bear in mind with you, I've never been to Venice because I kind of put where I personally change from North Italy to South Italy is Pisa. It's kind of around Pisa, so just north of Florence. And it kind of goes diagonal, so not a straight line across the country. So I'm counting Bologna in the south. But Venice, Verona, and Milan are definitely all considered northern Italy for me. And I'd love to do northern Italy at some point, whether it's Venice or Milan. I would love to do that. Verona, I'm not overly bothered with personally, but we shall see. And then track, while we're on that kind of track, I guess we need to talk about the south of France because I'd love to do Cannes and I'd love to do Monaco and Nice, all in one trip. Like those three. If you don't know where they're based, like Monaco, it goes basically Cannes, Nice, Monaco on that south coast of France, and they're all less than 10 miles from each other. So it's like you could easily do that in one trip and you could have an incredible time going around. Um, I've never done the south of France before. I've only ever done Paris, so I'd love to do France. Next, let's talk about Switzerland because I'd love to do some Switzerland. Zurich and Geneva are kind of the two things I want to do the most. Zurich and Geneva in Switzerland. I don't know why. I know Switzerland is very expensive, but I would love to do some skiing in Switzerland. So that's kind of where the angle, excuse me, I'm coming at this from, is more from a skiing angle than a let's go around Geneva. It's not coming at it from that angle at all. It's more it's more coming at it from like not a tourist angle. That's the wrong attitude to have. I mean, it's coming at it from more of a skier, snowboarder type angle, I guess. Um, Next, we're going to talk about Norway. Now, I bet you're all expecting me to say Oslo, and I don't. And I need to go to. Now, I'm going to butcher this so badly, but it's Rovik, I believe you pronounce it. Yeah, Rovik. 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 It's in the very north of Norway. It's beyond the Arctic Circle. You're in line with Iceland, and it's meant to be freezing up there. And that's kind of why I want to go because I've never really done a proper snowy holiday, and I'd love to be in the Arctic Circle and see the Northern Lights and stuff. Um, Obviously, you can only kind of see that if you're above the Northern Circle. So Iceland, which is where it's most known for being, North Norway, Sweden, and Finland as well. I believe you can see it in parts of Canada and Scotland at times of the year as well. I'm not too sure on that, but I believe you can see it in Canada and parts of Scotland. Next, this is where I think my opinions are kind of differ, but I'd love to do China, like Beijing, and do the Great Wall of China. Try and knock off a wonder of the world off the list. I'd love to do kind of mainland China. Now, obviously, you guys know I was in Hong Kong, and Hong Kong was incredible. Well, I can't say it was incredible because with Hong Kong, I never left the airport and I was only there for a couple of hours. And that was when the whole fiasco happened of the flight cancellation, which was in last episode, the Dubai special episode, where I spoke about all of that. But basically, yeah, basically, to put it quite simply, the I'd love to do like Beijing, Shanghai. I'd even like to do Shanghai, to be honest. But because of the new visa introductory rules for UK passports, we can now go to China visa free. So I would love to go and explore Beijing or Shanghai. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Very similar on lines with Japan. I would love to go and see ancient Japan or in this case, ancient China, which would obviously be around Badaying. I'm not quite sure how you pronounce the name of the place where the Great Wall is, but I would love to do that. I believe it's about 2 hours from Beijing. So, but I believe you could do a day trip. So that would be a cool day trip to do. I don't speak a word of Chinese or Mandarin. I believe they're the same thing actually. So that would be completely an experience, quite frankly. I believe it would be quite an experience to have kind of, the Chinese culture be fully embraced, because I think Hong Kong still has a lot of British influence for when it was obviously part of the British Empire. So, but I believe mainland China never got that. So I'd love to go and see that. Obviously, Macau, which is tiny, used to be a territory of Portugal, and it is still a special administrative state of the People's Republic of China. But yeah, it is kind of, very weird. Macau is so small. You have to literally go to Hong Kong if you want to get to Macau because it's so small. Next, this might be a bit weird, but I'd love to go to Russia. I'd love to go to Moscow, Moscow in Russia, because I'd love to go and see the Kremlin, and I don't know. I'd love to go and see, like, I wonder if how much remnants of the Soviet Union they have, and stuff like that. So that would be very interesting to see, as in my opinion as well. I'd love to go and see that stuff, and whether and how much of it is still there. Now let's get back. Now these two are going to get just knock off easy. As I said, I was going to bring these up earlier. Australia and New Zealand are of course there. That requires no explanation. I mean, the vlogs are all on the channel. You guys can see how much I loved Australia and New Zealand. So they're of course going to be on this list no matter what. Next. Now this one, I'm not really fussed if or when I do it, but that would be Vietnam. I'd love to do Vietnam, and I don't know why. I wish I could tell you why I want to do Vietnam, but I can't. Vietnam is just a country that for some reason has always piqued my interest. Not too sure why. I'm not going to stay on it for too long, but we'd love to do Vietnam, I guess. Let's kind of circle back. I guess we should circle back and kind of do Canada now. I've not been to Canada since I was potentially 2 years old. Maybe it was a bit younger. I think it was around there anyway. And we did Toronto. Oh, not Toronto. Well, yeah. Hamilton and Niagara Falls, basically. But from obviously the Canada side, not the USA side, from the Canada side. Do I remember anything? No. Is there photographic evidence? Yes. Does it make me remember it? Of course it doesn't. I know there's the Skylon Tower, I believe it is, right next to Niagara. So, that would be cool to do. To be honest with you, that would be cool to do again, and also Vancouver, because there's a lot of films, and as a massive nerd, I'd like to do Vancouver just because of the fact a lot of television and movies are filmed in Vancouver. And I know it's been a stand-in for Gotham City at points. It's been a stand-in for tons of American cities, Vancouver. So I'd love to do Vancouver. And then this kind of next section is going to be the USA. So let me just get through this. So obviously, New York is obviously on that list. Now, it's a very similar situation. It's a very similar situation to Canada with New York, where I went when I was incredibly young, and I don't remember a thing. So it is kind of a very similar situation like that with New York. I'd love to do Manhattan, and I'd love to do Statue of Liberty and Central Park and the Empire State Building. That would all be absolutely incredible to do, but obviously that's not going to happen until I get my visa situation sorted out with the United States. Yeah, that's not going to really be happening anytime soon, in my opinion. That's not really going to either go too well, or it's going to go, I don't know. I don't know. Whenever I get my visa situation sorted out with the US, New York will be on the top of that list. Los Angeles is also going to be on that list, or LA. Um, I was hoping to be in LA by April 2027 for Star Wars Celebration, the 40th anniversary of Star Wars. I now highly doubt that's going to happen. Um, it may still happen. A miracle may happen, but I highly doubt that will occur because, quite frankly, United States immigration and embassy services are notoriously slow, so I highly doubt that will even happen. Um, highly doubt. So yeah, alongside California, you obviously have San Francisco as well as Los Angeles. Um, I'd love to do the Golden Gate Bridge, and you know, I'd love to do San Francisco and see all the trams going up and down, and Alcatraz. I'd love to see Alcatraz as well. Um, yeah, that all seems quite good. But moving on to the next country that we have that I would like to visit, outside of the ones we've already mentioned, is actually going to be Morocco. I'd love to go to Marrakesh in Morocco. Um, Marrakesh just seems incredibly cool. I don't know why I like to go to different biomes like desert, rainforest. And I'm sure you're noticing a continent which I am avoiding. We've mentioned Asia, Europe, North America, Africa, and Oceania slash Australia. South America. I am kind of. There's nowhere really other than Brazil and Rio de Janeiro where I actually want to go in South. I mean, I wouldn't mind Buenos Aires or Aires in Argentina. I wouldn't mind doing that, but it won't bother me if I don't do it. If you know what I mean, it's like it won't bother me either way. And other than Rio de Janeiro in Brazil with Christ the Redeemer, it's kind of not a very interesting continent to me. I mean, the could technically go to the Falklands. I'm a British citizen. I won't need a passport to go into the Falklands. It's overseas British territory. Um, but yeah, in terms of like smaller islands that are like either overseas territories or too small to be even considered countries, obviously we have French Polynesia and Reunion, which are obviously French overseas territories, which one's near Africa, one's near New Zealand, so they would be cool. The Cook Islands as well, which are right next door to French Polynesia, next to New Zealand. So that would be cool with Rator. I'm gonna butcher this the island name so much. Rarotonga. Let's go with it. Rarotonga. Rarotonga. Sorry, there's no N. That seems like a very cool place. Tiny island. Tiny in the middle of nowhere. But obviously in French Polynesia you have stuff like Bora Bora, which is literally everyone's definition of paradise. And then you have Fiji that some people want to go to. I'm not bothered about Fiji. But then obviously down by India you have the Maldives. And the Maldives, near enough everyone in the world eventually wants to get around to the Maldives. In terms of other random spots that people have brought up on TikTok and stuff, Saudi Arabia, I'm not fussed if I don't go there. Turkey, not fussed if I don't go there, to be honest. Greece, would love it, but if I don't, I ain't bothered. Spain, I've been to the Canary Islands a lot. I mean, I don't really believe mainland Spain will be that different, to be honest with you. If it is, please do correct me, but Denmark, not bothered. Poland, there's only one thing I'd ever like to do in Poland. It's like World War II stuff, like going around Auschwitz or Krakow. That's kind of all I would like to do in terms of Poland. There's nothing really there that would make me, like, overly excited to do Poland. Belarus, no. Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Turkmenistan, nope. India, nope. Nepal, I'd only ever go Nepal if I was doing Everest. You don't really, in my opinion, have any reason to do Nepal other than if you're doing Mount Everest. I mean, it's the tallest mountain in the world, so that's really the only reason you have to go to Nepal, in my opinion. And then Ireland, nah. I mean, I wouldn't mind going to Galway, but Galway is Galway. But anyway, guys, that's going to wrap it up for today's episode here. Another short one. Thank you so much for being here. Thanks so much for tuning in for another episode of the Chit-Chat Show. I really do appreciate it. Give it a big fat thumbs up if you're on YouTube, or give it a little bit of a follow and a rating if you're on Spotify. I do appreciate it. All the support you give us, and I shall see you in the next episode in 2 weeks. Thank you, guys. See ya.